In terms of investment opportunities, I see the preparation for the green transition, which will shift into a higher gear, both in terms of what governments and companies are doing, but also what does entail in terms of investment possibilities for investors. So I think we will just see it moving forward and hence creating investment opportunities. I think the challenges are predominantly coming from outside the European Union, where what I see as a key challenge is to cope with the tightening of the monetary policy in the US. We have already seen in a recent past that the upward move in US Treasury yields did have global repercussions and also pushed bond yields in the euro area higher, although that is of course also related to the expectation that at some point the ECB policy would change as well. But nevertheless, that tighter environment that the Federal Reserve is going to bring to the picture is going to be a challenge for European financial markets, just like it will be a challenge for financial markets globally, because we know that the federal funds rate is the key driver of the global risk appetite of investors. So I think we can expect a somewhat choppier environment, choppier dynamics, more volatility than what we have been used to as of late. Well, I would like to make a distinction between what we are doing as a team. As Group Chief Economist, I'm leading a team of economists, and it means that our focus will, of course, continue to be to assess how the cyclical environment will evolve this year and next, and in particular what will be happening to inflation, which has been such a surprise in 2021 for everybody. This will have ramifications for the outlook for monetary policy in the US and in the euro area. So these are important matters. Beyond that, there's also going to be a focus on the rollout of next generation EU and how different countries are investing the sums that they will have received. When we look at BNP Paribas as a financial group, the focus point will be to continue to help our clients in realizing their projects. Banks have played a key role in 2020 and 2021 in actually in 2020 helping clients to kind of address the consequences of the pandemic in terms of the impact on cash flows, if you look at it from a company perspective, and subsequently, of course, in helping companies, but also households in meeting their demand for credit to realize investment projects, to buy property or consumer goods using consumer finance. Considering that we are in an environment characterized by sustained growth in our markets in which we are active, that is really the key emphasis. That is helping our clients in meeting their objectives and realizing their ambitions. That is on the credit side, so on the loan business, but is also in terms of advice to companies. Capital market operations, of course, obviously. And we think about households, it's also related to giving them advice on how to manage their own money and to make sure that they have attractive returns on their investments. Another key focus area will, of course, be to kind of continuing to invest in giving clients a better service by developing the digital tools that we use to do business with our clients. Well, the key consideration on this topic is that it is spanning actually various areas. So one area is using digital tools to work together with your clients, doing transactions, informing them, giving them advice, and so on. So that, of course, the financial sector has already made major efforts and will continue to do that because, well, everybody on the client base as well has embarked on that digital road. The second area under the banner of digitalization is what is happening in the investment sphere, and which is all the development about crypto. Now, that's an area where I'm of the opinion that we should be extremely careful because there are a lot of issues there. It's highly speculative, and so it's more a matter of making sure that you do not fall in the trap of momentum and then say, well, everybody or a lot of people are doing that and are saying they have made good returns, so let's do that as well. I really want to warn against that because it is just incredibly speculative, and the fair value of these instruments is completely impossible to determine. So that's the second area. The third area is what is happening in the payments environment, where we see big developments happening as well, and that I expect will continue and may bring rather significant changes in the landscape. So we just have to follow that very closely, anybody who is involved, and to see whether it is more of an opportunity or actually it's more of a challenge that we need to cope with, because it could change the way we have been working and business models. And then the fourth area, which for me as an economist is very interesting, is the project that is conducted within many central banks about rolling out central bank digital currency. So really, it's huge projects, and there's just a continuous flow of research papers on that and how it all could work out. Still a lot of questions and answers, so it's really premature to even try to assess where it could bring us. But in any case, it needs to be monitored very closely, and it shows us how the digitization of the economy is bringing profound changes, not only in the real economy, but also in the financial sphere, both in terms of the plumbing, but also in terms of the investment side and the financing side, and even in terms of the role of central banks in this regard.